You have to believe that you are the only one creating your success, that you are the one creating your mediocrity, and that you are the one creating your effort over money and success. Consciously or unconsciously, you are still you. Instead of taking responsibility for what is happening in their life, poor people choose to play the role of victim. The predominant thoughts of a victim is poor me. So immediately by virtue of law of intention, that is literally what victims get. They get to be poor. Notice that I said that they play the role of victim. I didn't say they were victims. I don't think anyone is a victim. People play the victim because they think they will get something. We will discuss this in more detail shortly. That said, how can you tell when people are playing the victim? They leave three obvious clues. Now, before we talk about these clues, I want to make it clear that I fully understand that none of these ways of being have anything to do with anyone reading this book. Maybe, just maybe, you might know someone to whom you can refer, and maybe, just maybe, you can meet that person immediately. Either ways, I suggest you pay close attention to this part. Victim attitude 1, guilt. As for why they are not rich, most of the victims are professionals in the blame game. The object of this game is to see how many people and circumstances you can point your finger at without ever looking at yourself. It is fun for the victims, at least. Unfortunately, it is no revelry for anyone who is unlucky enough to be around them. That's because those in close proximity to the victims become easy target. Victims blame the economy, blame the government, blame the stock market, blame their agent for bag. Blame their agent for bag, blame your business type, blame your boss, blame your employees, blame your manager, blame your main office, blame your superiors, blame your inferiors, blame the customer department, blame the transportation department, they blame their partner, their wife, they blame God, and of course, they always blame their parents. There is always someone or something to blame. The problem is something or someone but them. Victim attitude 2, justification. If victims are not blaming, if victims are not blaming, you will often find them justifying or rationalizing their situations by saying something like, money is not really important. Let me ask you this question. If you said that your husband or your wife or your boyfriend or your girlfriend or your partner or your friend were not all that important, would any of them be by your side for a long time? I don't think so, and neither would money. Poor people confirm their financial ineptitude using irrelevant comparison. They will argue, well, money is not as important as love. Now, is that comparison stupid or what? What is more important, your arm or your leg? Maybe both are important. If I have not been able to convince you and you somehow still believe that money is not important, then I have only two words for you. You are broke and you always will be until you eradicate that non supporting file of your financial design. Victim attitude 3, complaint. Complaining is the absolute worst possible thing you could do for your health or your wealth. The worst. Why? Have you heard the universal law that says what you focus on expands? When you are complaining, What are you focusing on? What is right in your life or what is wrong? You are obviously focusing on what is wrong with it. And as what you focus on expands, you will continue to have more of what is wrong. Many teachers in the field of personal development talk about law of attraction. She says that like attracts like, which means that when you are complaining, you are actually attracting shit into your life. Have you ever noticed that the complainer usually have a hard life? It seemed that everything that could go wrong is going wrong for them. They say, of course I complain. Look what crap my life is. And now that you know more, you can explain to them, no, it's because you complain that your life is so crap. Shut up and don't get near me. Which brings us to the another point. You have to make sure you don't put yourself in the proximity of complainers. If you absolutely have to be next door, be sure to bring an armored umbrella or the shit meant for them will catch up with you too. I am as far away from the complainers as possible because the negative energy of the person is infectious. A lot of people, however, love to get hooked and listen to those who complain. Why? It is simple. They wait their turn. Do you think that is bad? You wait until you hear what happened to me. Here are some duties that I promise will change your life. For the next 7 days, I challenge you not to complain at all. Not just out loud, but inside your head as well. But you have to do it for next full 7 days. Why? Because during the first days you may still have some residual shit that come from before. Sadly, shit doesn't travel at the speed of light, you know. It travels at the speed of shit. So it might take a while to clean. I guarantee that you will be amazed at how amazing your life will be when you stop focusing on and stop attracting shit into your life. If you have been a complainer, forget about attracting success for now, because for most people, just getting neutral would be a great start. Guilt, justification, and complaint are like pills. They are nothing more than stress reducers. They ease the tension of failure. Think about it. If a person was not failing in some way, shape, or form, would he or she need to blame, justify, or complain? The obvious answer is no. From now on, when you hear yourself disastrously blaming, justifying, or complaining, stop and give up immediately. Remember that you are creating your life and that every moment you will be attracting either success or shit into your life. It is imperative that you choose your thoughts and words wisely. Now you are ready to hear one of the world's greatest secrets. You are ready? Read this carefully. There is no such thing as a really rich victim. Did you catch that? I will say it again. There is no such thing as a really rich victim. In the meantime, being a victim definitely pays off. What do people get out of being a victim? The answer is attention. Is care important? You can bet it is. One way or another is what almost everyone lives for. And the reason people live for care is that they have made a critical mistake. It is the same mistake that virtually all of us have made. We have confused attention with love. Believe me, it is virtually impossible to be truly happy and successful when you are constantly hungry for attention. Because if it is attention that you want, you are at the mercy of others. You usually end up as a flatter begging for approval. Attention seeking is also a problem because people tend to do stupid things to get it. It is imperative to unlink care and love for many reasons. First, you will be more successful. Second, you will be happier. And third, you can find true love in your life. For most part, when people confuse love and attention, they don't love each other in the true spiritual sense of the word. They love each other widely from the place of their own ego, as in, I love what you do for me. Therefore, the relationship is really about the individual and not about the person or at least the two of you. By disconnecting attention from love, you will be free to love others for who they are rather than what they do for you.